Hello everybody, my name's Tony. This is the X-Lite that we have listed on RV Share. The first video we're going to do here, we're going to do a series of videos, but the first one is going to be hooking up the sway control system. So I'm going to walk you through each step, getting ready to tow the trailer. If you're renting the trailer to take it with you, this sway control system will be on the trailer and is there for you to use. So I'm going to go through setting it up. This is better than just a sway bar system. This is a complete sway control system. So it's a dual cam. It's the Reese dual cam sway control system. So let's go through the steps. So the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to want to drop the trailer onto the hitch. This receiver will come with the trailer. You'll be able to put it in your own vehicle. And as you see here, the tongue jack on this trailer is power. You're just going to hit this switch up and down, and there's a light on it as well. The light will work when the electricity is hooked up, but may not work just on the battery alone. So to control the trailer, you're going to go up and down here. Sometimes it sticks, and you're going to have to just hit it to stop it if it is sticking again. So you just want to drop it on here so you can slide the latch. And make sure that it's all in place. Once it's on here, we're going to go ahead and slide our pin in, lock it on, and raise the trailer back up to put the sway control system on. We want to bring the tongue of the trailer up, and we want to bring the truck up a little bit as well. You can see it's starting to lift the hitch here, the receiver. You have the keys?
Yeah.
If there is ever an issue, just something to keep in mind, there's going to be 3 blocks of wood that come with the trailer. The reason for that is if this jack is ever fully extended, it's going to blow a fuse and you're not going to be able to use the power jack anymore. So you have to use these blocks underneath there. There's 3 blocks because my truck sits a little higher and that's what it takes. Your truck may only take the 6x6 or maybe the 6x6 and a 2x6, but use as much as you can to get up to the jack so that you're not extending the jack too far, which will blow the fuse. If you do blow the fuse, these keys will come with the trailer. There's a storage compartment on this side here, and right inside this side of the storage compartment is going to be a manual lever to raise up and down. It's a crank. You're just going to spin it, or you're going to spin it the other way, so it raises and lower. And you'll see that this is fitted for a nut that's in there that it sits on to crank. So we're only going to use that if the fuse is blown. Okay, so I've hooked up, I've lifted everything up. Now I'm ready to install the sway control system. So the first step to this is I want these in this direction. So I want this pointing up, this notch here, okay? And you have to start from the side, slide it in and lift, and then rotate it over on top of this cam. And then this chain's going to come up. I use the 5th link, but it's going to be different maybe for your vehicle. I use the 5th link, and I can do this with my hands. You may need the cheater bar, which will be with the trailer. You're going to lift it up, lock it into place, and then this pin here, zoom in on this a little bit so you can see it. This pin here is going to slide straight through. The pin's got to be up in the air like this for it to go. Sometimes you'll have to manipulate it a little bit with the cheater bar. Once it's in, you're going to rotate it down, and that's going to keep it in place. So now this side's done. So we're going to jump to the other side and repeat the same process. So trunnion bar just like this, out to the side, lock it in, rotate it over the cam, lift the chain up. I go 5th link from the end, but you might go 4 or 6, and I'm going to snap that into place. Pin's going to go like this, sliding forward and laying it down. Depending on how much tension you have on here, it's going to be a little more difficult to get that pin in, so you may have to get the cheater bar on there to move it around a little bit to line it up. Okay, we're on the left side, we're on the right side. So everything for the sway control system is on now. This is our emergency brake cable. I lock it right to the receiver. You have to be careful with this cable. If this cable goes in the wrong spot and gets yanked, it's going to activate the electric brakes, which is going to slam the brakes on the trailer. So it has to be hooked to the hitch or to the vehicle somehow, so that if the trailer ever kicks off, then it's going to pull the cable out, slam the brakes on the trailer, and the trailer is going to come to a complete stop. Chains, I usually cross them at least once. They're going to hook on down here to your hitch. All right. kind of a pain, but you're going to lock them on each side, and they're going to hang right here. And then our electrical cable is right here. This is going to go, depending on the way your plug is set up on your vehicle. Me, it goes this way. Slide in just like that. Okay, so now I've got my pin in. I'm going to lock this on. The key will be with the trailer, so that the trailer can't lift off the ball. I've hooked my emergency cable up, my brake cable. I've hooked my chains up, hooked my electrical up. I have my sway bar control system hooked up, and then I'm going to drop the vehicle and get ready to tow. All right, and what's going to happen here is these handles are basically acting like a wheelbarrow. They're going to lift up and they're going to shift the pressure forward on the truck, and they're going to keep the front end a little higher on the trailer as well, just like a wheelbarrow handle would be. And it's going to take some of the load off. Instead of the truck sitting like this, it's now sitting more even, and it's going to disperse the weight of the trailer and help it to handle. See, it's stuck now. It's coming up. I don't want it to max out, because if it maxes out, it's going to blow the fuse. So if it gets stuck, you're just going to hit the switch again, and that's going to stop it. So I'm going to bring it up a little bit more. And those chains again would be hooked up, but for right now, I'm just going to leave them like that because it's difficult to unhook. When you unhook everything, we're going to go in the opposite order. So assuming my chains will still be hooked up here, the most important step to disconnecting this sway bar system is putting the jack down and lifting the front of the trailer up. Right now there's a tremendous amount of pressure on here. If I were to try and pull those chains off, this cheater bar could snap back and hurt me. You know, it could be very difficult to pull these pins out. So I want to get the trailer back off the ground. I want to get the back of the truck back up in the air, and I want to raise everything up, which is going to help me take a little bit of the pressure off these trunnion bars so I can take the chains back off. All right, so I'm back up. I like to leave the electric hooked up until last, because the hoist itself, the jack, takes power. Right now it's pulling power from the truck and from the battery because my truck is running. If not, you're going to wear down the battery on the RV. So if you're parking, you're going to want to do all of this before disconnecting. Otherwise, you're parking the RV, the trailer, and then you're wasting some of your battery for no reason. So I like to do this and do the electrical cable last. All right, so I'm here. I'm going to disconnect my chains. I'm going to disconnect my emergency brake. I'm going to come out here and I'm going to put the chock blocks in place. You see, in the front and the back of the tire to keep the trailer from going, moving forward or backwards when I'm putting it up on the jack. Last thing we want is to jack this up and the trailer to slide away because it's no longer hooked to the truck. So make sure that you have those chock blocks in place before you disconnect from the truck. So I got chains are disconnected now. I can take my pin out. Oh, actually, I don't want to take that out yet. I want to get the sway control system off of here first. So I'll take these pins out. Same thing, a little bit of pressure, and I should be able to pull the pin out, stand it up, and pull it out. I'm going to drop it down, and because there's not a lot of pressure here, it's relatively easy. I'm going to come down here, drop my cams, rotate my trunnion bar out, and it's going to drop off of there. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Take my trunnion bars and my jack off, and then I'm going to, with everything's up right now. Okay, so after I take the second trunnion bar off, now I have my sway control system disconnected. I'm going to lower the trailer back down. Let me switch over to this real quick. You don't have to come over here. Again, there's not a ton of pressure on this because I have everything jacked up. If I didn't have it jacked up, it would be a lot more difficult for me to pull these out with my bare hands. So I'm coming here. Now I'm going to bring the trailer back down until it's free. Take my pin out. Okay, I can disconnect it all now. Trailer back up. And that's it. So I'm all set. Now I can pull my electric and I can move on to leveling the trailer.